Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
Welcome to another episode of the PUCL Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, and today I've got two of my very wonderful co-hosts. We've got the knowledgeable, as always, R Sigma.
Hiya, papaya.
And we've got my number one critic, Bocefus.
Hey, what's up, Puclonians?
Puclonians. Welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, where we talk everything Pokemon, from the trading card game to the video game to everything in between. So welcome to that. I would say what I've been doing in Pokemon lately, but the answer is I've just been playing more Pokemon Violet because the game runs better and I want to experience it the way God intended.
Fair.
The
I'm
windmill
still waiting
moves,
for my email.
your email for the Switch 2.
My email?
I apologize that you did not get it yet.
It's okay.
It's
haven't been
my
playing
wife hasn't
Scarlet
gotten
and
hers
Violet,
either,
so.
if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, my roommate hasn't either, and he has like 200 games or something on the Switch, so it makes me feel
Yeah,
like
it's not about the games
it.
or something. It's
Not
about
like
what
time played, I thought.
it's about the time played, not the ownership.
And also, if you played free-to-play games, it doesn't count. So if you were playing
Yeah.
Unite and Fortnite, I don't
figured.
think it adds to it. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
there's
Yeah,
a kitty trying to bust down my door.
but it was awesome. I really liked the game so far. We've been I also did like a bunch of Puckle stuff today. Because I took the last few days of the week off, and I actually I've started fixing our website. This has been on my to-do list for like
Nice.
4 years. So I finally did it. It started. People can't complain that the Discord link on the website no longer works. I tested it very thoroughly. It does work. So if you go to puclpodcast.com, most of the links on it work. It's a very empty website right now because I'm in the middle of just reloading everything onto it and reorganizing everything. So I am
confirm
getting
it does work. I clicked.
Shut up, guys. It's fixed. It's done. Shut up.
It is
Okay?
fixed. It is fixed. Also, if it doesn't work for you for some reason, you can always just go to your browser on your phone, tablet, computer, and you could just type in pucldiscord.com. I promise you it will work.
Mhm.
We've only had pucldiscord.com for a very long time.
It's
and
been
I
about
feel-
5 years
That's
now,
right
hasn't
now.
it?
yeah, it's been
I
a
think
while.
that's a lie.
Yeah, because I purchased it a while ago because I was like, oh, this is just an easier way than like paying for the Discord boost.
You can also go to
your own-
PokemonDiscord.com. We got that one too.
Wait, we have that too?
We have PokemonDiscord.com. It redirects to our link.
Wait, we own PokemonDiscord.com?
We own PokemonDiscord.com.
That is something that past me did that now me does not remember.
I think we got an email a few
It
weeks
sure
ago
does.
saying that it might be worth some money.
Sure does.
I can believe it does. Yeah.
Nice.
I own like a few random URLs. I did not realize I had purchased that one. It was probably one of those things like I did as a joke. I was like, oh, I'll just type it. I'll just like buy PokemonDiscord.com or something like that.
We own a joke one too, but I'm not going to tell you that one on air.
No, I know
it
the
still
reason
works.
you got Pokemon. I know the reason you got PokemonDiscord.com is because you were mad that you didn't get PokemonPodcast.com, and then
No.
PKMNcast got it. And then they
No,
were the
I'm
most,
not. I'm not
popular
mad
Pokemon.
about that. I didn't. That's not why I did it. I just did it probably because we were buying URLs, and buying URLs is really cheap typically.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, we just bought like
I
a
do
bunch of
remember a
them.
conversation about you and I talking about
Yeah.
them getting PokemonPodcast.com, and you were like, I could have got that at the beginning, and I didn't because I had Puckle and I was 17 and dumb. And I was like,
yeah, no, that's
I
true.
mean-
That's true. That's true. That is everything you said was a true story about it. Yeah, no, I know we own that one too.
Yeah, that's the joke one. Yep.
I do know we own that one too. But yeah. I don't know. But what have you guys been up to in Pokemon recently?
Last weekend I just watched NAIC. Lots of TCG. It was good
Yeah.
because they kept the Gardevoir mirrors off stage until like they couldn't
Right
anymore.
at the end. Yeah.
They understood that is miserable to watch.
It's miserable to watch. It's miserable to play. Like, it's just terrible to play.
It is just an awful experience for everyone. And after the last regional was also a Gardemir final, I was really hoping that we wouldn't get that.
I just like whenever we get like any kind of, I don't know, like any kind of deck that's just like somebody plays a mini game for 5 minutes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just
mean,
like
Grimmsnarl
that.
was supposed to save us and it didn't. It was like the second or third most played deck because they decided to not combine the Dragapult. Like if you combine the Dragapult was the most played deck, but since they divided the Dragapult, I believe Raging Bolt was number 1 and Grimmsnarl was number 2.
That's because Raging Bolt's easy to drive. It's so easy.
It's also just unfair. I hate that deck so much.
I think any deck like Raging Bolt, because at the time Chien Pao, like a couple of years ago or maybe last year even.
I mean, it is Chien Pao. Like
it's just Chien
the
Pao.
natural evolution to Chien Pao.
It's ramped up Chien Pao with a bit more, well, maybe not more energy acceleration. But
it's better energy acceleration.
It's better energy acceleration, but it also has it also just does more damage. Like Chien Pao is doing 60 per energy discarded, and Raging Bolt is doing 70 per energy, and that's a big difference in the game right now. Like because right now you do have a lot of 210s, that is a good number to hit, and if Chien Pao, it would take 4 energy to get you there, and
5 energy.
Bolt, it's only,
it would be 4.
It would be 4. It would only take 3 energy with Raging Bolt, and that is a big difference. Same with 280. 280 was the same deal. 5 for Chien Pao, 4 for Raging Bolt, and 280 is a big number to hit as well.
I should like Raging Bolt, but I just can't, and I don't quite know why. But maybe it's because I'm an Archaludon player, and I think it's just incredibly unfair that it's a one-shotter that can continuously one-shot turn after turn.
Yeah, I mean that's most of the
Pokemon you did 350
TCG.
damage, and then you did 350 again. That's cool. Love that.
Yeah, the Pokemon TCG's all like that.
It's like I'm here playing a 2-hit deck. It's like I want to hit you twice. I want you to hit me twice so I can counter back. It's a good time.
You gotta play single pricers for that. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunately the truth. You have to play single pricers to do that.
I mean,
nowadays.
like you could play Ethan's Typhlosion right now. Like that.
Yeah,
it's not a bad deck. It didn't have like a great showing, but it looked cool when it was on camera.
Bo, do you follow any of like the current TCG? You used to be really big in it. I just don't know if you're still following it or not. Maybe we lost Bo.
Oh,
that's not good. Oh no. Well, we'll keep going.
No, the Tord match in the semifinals was really fun. If you watched that, I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did not watch it yet.
It went to time. It was it was on turn 3, and he needed to find his jamming tower, and he had to Iono to hope to get it. He was playing Dragapult against like one of the Guardies. It doesn't matter which one. It was the one that lost in the finals because I don't think it was Isaiah Bradner. But he needed to draw his. It was like an Iono to 3, and he needed his jamming tower. He had used his Spaz, I think. He used your cloak, and he just couldn't find it. It was rough because there was a. I think there was a Clefairy with a hard charm on it. And it was really weird because the turn before the player chose to do nothing and everyone was confused. But because of the way turns work in Top Cut, where you need a winner, it goes to whoever takes the prize first. And he didn't want to put any damage counters out so that Tord could use Monkey to get the KO.
Oh my gosh. How frustrating.
It was an exciting match.
Yeah, I don't envy any of that. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we might have lost Bo here for a second, so I would ask him what he's up to. But I think this is a good segue for us to go ahead and kick it on over to our news segment. So let's cue that epic, I guess, ball bounce now. Welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about. Super exciting for people who care. We've got the Pokemon Worlds Competitor Kit was announced at the end of NAIC. So you can get this swaggy Anaheim Pikachu, a backpack. I mean, this is obviously if you're competing, which not everybody or a lot of people will be.
I think it's at the Pokemon Center too, if you're just going.
You can buy the whole kit or just like the items
Like
in
the
the
individual
kit.
pieces of the kit.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
You can also buy on eBay a week later for
a
$3,000.
markup. For a markup,
I mean,
that's
probably
for sure.
Yeah.
The pin that says competitor, probably not buyable.
Yeah, no, you can't buy that one. No. And then
unless it's on eBay a week later, and then it'll be for $4,500.
and then you
They
can
will
also
probably sell it.
also get the promo too, right? If you do that.
Yes.
Those are like all over the place. Like I think last year you
Yeah.
could get them from local game stores and
Oh, really?
like GameStop and the
Nuts.
promo with Pikachu fighting the Iron
Yeah.
Thorns. Yeah.
Okay.
Pokemon Center had a
one's only
code, I think.
$600.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
in
there
more
are a lot
TCG
less competitive. So
in more TCG news that I assume both of you know more about than I do, TCG Pocket has announced a new EV set, EV Grove. So you can actually go and open EV cards. I'm sure that will be exciting for a lot of people. It includes EVEX, so that's cool.
Yes. It took me forever to realize what EVEX even did. Because I'm like, it's just evolving. It can just evolve. Like that's just regular evolution. And I'm like, it's an EX. That's why it's why it's anything. It took me like a solid probably 6 or 7 minutes of being like, why does this have this print on this card?
we went through that earlier.
Because it's an EX. I'm like, I'm so stupid.
Regular TCG went through that like 6 months ago or so with the EVEX that says I can evolve into an EV Pokemon.
Yeah, it does do that.
Like,
I saw that. It's because EXs can't usually evolve. It's fine.
But it can only evolve into non-EX evolutions, right?
It should be able to evolve into any of them. Anything
I think
that
it can evolve into
from
any of them. I would imagine.
Oh,
I assume.
the EXs have to evolve from EV2. Yeah, I'm silly.
I mean, they can. Yeah, they have to evolve from like little EV
these
or
aren't
EVEX. It doesn't matter.
These aren't the EXs of 2016 or whatever it was the last time we played Pokemon together. Where it's just
power creep. Power creep IRL Pokemon has got me out. I'm so out of the cards. I don't care.
They did slow down.
They're too big.
They did slow down a lot, to be fair. I mean, it
you're
was
Raging Bull.
tag team was really crazy, and now it's definitely slower. But I wouldn't say it's like, Wizards of the Coast Pokemon slow, right?
No, where everything does 10 or 20 damage. Yeah, no.
10 or 20 damage, and you have like, it takes 12 hits to knock something out.
Game one, yeah.
No. Well, and I personally love Pokemon Pocket because the power creep. I mean, it is still in there, and cards are getting stronger.
This is good because there's a trivia question about TCG Pocket today, and I hope you can answer it.
I feel safe with Bo here.
I actually do.
If I miss it, there are many US dollars that I need to get back from the Pokemon.
Yes. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite, to celebrate the anniversary launch. I guess it's the 4th anniversary, which is kind of nuts to think about. I will also report to everybody that the Switch 2 does run it better. The game does not lag on the Switch 2. That was one of the first things I checked. Like the GUI is actually usable. So yeah, Latios and Latias are going to be joining though on July 21st to celebrate the 4th anniversary of Pokemon Unite's launch. So go ahead. Talk about a game I haven't been following because it just like ramped like crazy.
Yeah,
I do enjoy playing it. I do enjoy playing it. I'm never going to be at the point where I'm good at it. You know what I mean?
No. It's same.
Yeah.
There was one of the finals games was real rough over the weekend.
Oh, really?
The team won by like over 1,000 points in
Oh my gosh. So they played against us. I was joking when it first came out that we should sponsor a team and get tracksuits that with tearaway pants and be those guys that like show up and play Pokemon Unite at like nationals. I thought that might be funny.
Pocket next year. We wait for Pocket. To be out of next year,
tracksuits for Pocket. There we go.
Yes.
Tearaway pants. All right. Well, let's move on to some Scarlet and Violet news. This is you, Bo.
Cool. Baxcalibur is the latest 7-star raid.
Wow. I was talking to Sigma before. Well, I was talking to Sigma about this before, and I'm like, it's just the Newman meme where somebody he shouts out, "Guys, Baxcalibur's the 7-star raid this week," and then he turns around and he goes, "See, no one cares. No one cares."
I mean, if it were Dragapult, I think people would care.
Yeah, it's just Baxcalibur. It's fine. Yeah, sure, it's a Pokemon. It's a cool one.
Apparently, Komodo people love too from the survey results. I'm shocked.
Dude, Komodo is sweet though.
Fans.
Komodo's fun. I like Komodo. I think you're in the wrong. I don't think
like it's not as bad as Goodra, but I don't put it near the top.
Wow, I feel like let's stop you before you make more bad takes. I'm
sorry, Dragapult's right there. And Garchomp and Metagross.
Yeah, tweet at our Sigma, tell him how wrong he is about his dragon type opinions. All dragon types are valid, okay?
Yeah, especially Dragonite. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a second, Seth. All right,
and Federico Camporesi won NAIC with Miraidon Lunala.
I grabbed the wrong one.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yep, I can. I grabbed the wrong image. That's for myself.
It's fine. If you talk over me, I'm just going to assume you can't hear me, and I'm just going to talk louder. And
that's fair.
Can you hear me?
You should. That'll be real good for the show.
Miraidon Lunala. No NA players in the top 8. No North American players.
Actually, yeah. Wow, I just noticed that. Yeah, it's
they were all kicked out.
Wow, that's crazy. A lot of Italy. Go Italy. Good for them.
And
honestly. Italy and Japan. Well, Japan has started coming into our meta now because they can play in our championship series to go to Worlds.
Yeah, they get their Worlds invite a lot easier than their system.
Yeah, it's easier than their system because it's not entirely a lottery. It's just how fast can you buy your entrance ticket.
Well, no, with their system for their, they have to qualify.
Mm-hmm.
You know our online tournaments. That's how they qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, I know.
Or they qualify for Japan Nationals, then they qualify for Worlds from there.
Yep.
It's a rough system, so it probably is easier for them to just come over here and get it.
Honestly, yeah, I don't mind. I don't blame them at all.
I don't blame them. Like, good for them.
Yeah. I don't blame them. This is really cool. Like, honestly, the spread's really cool with the different teams. There is a lot of Miraidon, but it's not that bad,
There's a lot of Shadow Racks, Zamazentas too.
Yeah.
Rillaboom's everywhere because Miraidon's everywhere.
Yeah, because Miraidon's everywhere. Yep.
I mean, you got to get rid of the terrain somehow, and Rillaboom's pretty good at that.
Just a lot of Incineroar. If Incineroar could go away, that'd be real cool. All right. Well, I guess we're on to you now, Sig.
Yeah. All right. We got some Go announcements. Bottle caps were announced at NIC.
Yeah.
Becoming.
That's actually really cool.
It's really cool until you realize you have to pay $20 to get one. But yeah. That's a little awkward, but
that's awkward. Okay, so it's kind of my problem with Pokemon with like TCG Pocket. I'd feel okay with TCG Pocket if there was a way to make that I could like craft cards reliably. No, reliably. Like I want to be able to put money into the game and get the card I want.
But you can.
Yeah, you can. It's just
there is crafting.
Yeah, I think it's an unreasonable
it's a
amount.
Lot for rare cards. Like rare cards
it is an unreasonable amount.
It's an unreasonable
uncommons
amount.
And commons are doable. Rares are too, just not EXs. EXs are where you're like
a bottle cap, hard. Like a bottle cap, and when you go play in TCG, and if you go play in like NAIC or Worlds or something like that for Pokemon Go, like $60 for a team or even $120 for a team, I think is kind of reasonable. Like I think of like a high-end TCG deck, right? A high-end TCG deck could go up to $120.
Oh yeah. But the thing is, this feels more of a casual thing for people to be like, I have the shiny Pokemon and I want it to be better. Like this is my favorite Pokemon.
I'm also for that.
Shiny,
I think people will fall for that trap. Yes.
They probably will. I just wish it wasn't tied to like the $20 pass for the weekend. Like a lot of people are just going to get the pass anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to climb the battle pass too that you buy essentially. But
that's a lot.
I assume it's not that high on the pass. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little gross.
But it is cool that it's finally there. Speaking of Global Go Fast, that's happening like essentially all week. But over the weekend, you get your doggy raids to armor Digivolve them.
Armor Digivolve to
Zacian
form. Yeah.
But leading up to that, there's Reggie raids during the entire week, I believe. I want to say the Gmax Galar starters are around too. I want to say.
So, I hope so. That'd be great.
I haven't done Gmax raids, so.
I haven't done Gmax, but I've done like the Dynamax, and I like Dynamax.
Dynamax is fine. I haven't done like the high level Dynamax because there aren't that many people around, but like I don't mind the lower level stuff. I battle every Darumaka I come across.
Yeah.
I like beating up the Darumakas.
And then I guess we already talked about starters. I guess we talked about your TCG news, but I'll let you say.
Yeah, Gardymir. Yay. Isaiah Bradner won with Gardy. There was a Toad Scroll in the top 8. It was actually the high seed. There was
that sounds like a fun deck.
Was top 50.
Is this a Toad Scroll EX? 15. Yeah, it is. I know which one this is. I know this Toad Scroll.
It was just a rough matchup against Tord.
Wow, this is actually like a really fun. This is a very fun and simple deck. Looking at this,
I mean, it eats Grimmsnarls for days.
Wow, this is really good. I will build this.
And somehow Zoroark made top 8. I don't know how. Whenever I pick up the deck, I play against a deck running Iron Leaves and Loose. So good for them.
I just like that Gardy did well. I don't like it. It hurts.
I don't. Gardy hurts, and the fact that they're getting so much in the future.
I know.
They're getting. I'm terrified.
It rotates next year, though. It rotates next year.
Yeah, but they're gonna get the Mega.
They're gonna get the Mega, and the Mega's gonna be fine.
And they get Jellicent. Jellicent's real rough. Jellicent didn't need to happen. Nothing like item lock and tool lock. Joy.
I'm so excited.
Great times. Good times for psychic decks. Yeah. Yay.
Okay, and in everybody's favorite returning segment, Wo-Chien's News Corner, news brought to you at a snail's pace. 10 years ago this week, they released a Mega Rayquaza crossed with Mega Charizard and Umbreon and Espeon 3DS themes. There was also a Dragonite with Extreme Speed being distributed at GameStop. Remember when that used to happen? You'd have to go in and get your little card at GameStop, and sometimes they would lie and tell you you had to buy something to get it.
I think this is when there was like distribution carts still.
Was there? Which game was it for? I guess this is 2015.
This was ORS. I feel like they stopped it for Sun and Moon. Maybe.
No, I don't. I think for Gen 6.
Black and white.
I think Black and White was the last time we had distribution carts.
I think we got. Yeah, I think we had the online from XY on.
Yeah, I think what they probably just gave us a serial code. You went in, you got the little postcard, and you had to scratch it off on the back.
Remember when they tried Pokemon Pass to be a thing?
Yeah, which honestly, they're almost there with Pokemon Home, because like Pokemon Home, sometimes you can redeem things now.
I mean, they added. They're not really in the U.S. yet, but gotten there. In Japan, it's the same.
Yeah, it's very good in that regards. But yeah. All right. Well, that's the news. Other than you should go fill out the Puckle survey if you haven't already. If by July 16th, we get 250 responses, which we're actually pretty well on the way there. By July 16th, we will give away a copy of Pokemon Legends ZA, either for the Switch or Switch 2, whichever your choice, the person who wins it. And on the 16th, I purposely made it July 16th because that's a stream. That's where we'll announce the winner. And I'll also, I do this every year when we do a survey as well. I like put together a slideshow with the results, and I talk about things that we're going to change. Like today, you're going to notice a change probably right after this segment. And the survey does affect the show and how we produce things, and I want to let you guys know what we're doing to make those changes. And so that's where we'll do it. Honestly, there'll probably be an audio version that goes out as well, because I know a lot of people don't catch the streams or watch the VODs or something like that. So there will probably be an audio version of me just talking at you, letting you know all of the things that we're changing about Puckle. Well, yeah.
If you're a new listener who's only been listening for like a month or two, please respond. We want to know why you're listening to us and why you continue to listen to us. That's important information.
That is important information.
A new listener, but please do.
Yeah, the link to that survey is in the show notes and also in the video description, or wherever you're listening to us. It's very easy for you to find. Please come by. If you're not, come to pucldiscord.com. It's on pucldiscord.com as well. It's over there in the Discord. But yeah, with that, guys, we're gonna kick it on over to our topic. So let's cue that little ball bounce. Welcome to our topic. Our topic today is going to be speculation on the future of Pokemon in the next 10 years, or not the next 10 years, in the next year.
Like 2.
I mixed up Gen 10 with the next 10 years. In like the next year and a half, maybe, right? Like, because there's a lot of things happening, and we haven't sat down and like talked about it for a while, and I have like a lot of ideas that are like percolating about it. And I just kind of want to talk about it. I am very pleasantly surprised. There's like a very small aside that I was almost correct about like the release date for Z to A. I didn't think it was going to be the Christmas game, and I was correct. And I'm more excited because they actually did do it to kind of honor X and Y's release date as well. Making it October 16th. It's like, right? It's 3 days off because the 13th is like a Monday or something like that.
Yeah, you needed a Thursday. Like it's the Thursday closest. It worked out.
Yeah. So it's very cool in that regards. My only problem with it is I wish it would have been like the week beforehand, so I could have just had like a long 4-day weekend to play it. But unfortunately, that's not the way it works out. But yeah, no. So I want to take some time and talk about Legends EA and maybe some Gen 10 and a little bit beyond. Maybe hitting on just like what we expect from 30th anniversary instead of just Gen 10. But yeah. I want to focus this on just like a couple questions I have. And then, of course, if you guys have any follow-ups or thoughts come to your mind, you can feel free to ask. But let's focus on ZA first. I want to get your opinions on some things. Sigma brought up an interesting point earlier. And I guess the question, and I think this is a no-brainer, but that's just me, is whether or not all of the megas will be present in Pokemon Legends ZA. Do we think that? I'll give my answer last, but I want to hear what you guys think.
I'll let Bo answer first.
My answer is yes.
You think all of them will be there?
My answer is, I think 100% yes.
I have like a small category that might not be present.
I have some reservations on a few that holds me back from saying yes. One, I want to still believe that the starters are getting evolutionary forms, because if they don't, we can't let Blaziken be in the game where Emboar is here and a focal point. Because who's keeping Emboar when you can have a Blaziken?
Okay. So I actually have like the opposite spin that you do, I think. Because I think there's a chance that we don't get the Hoenn starters at all.
Yeah, I think the Hoenn starters are like one of the big red flags, and Latios are probably the closest to the next one.
I think Latios and Latios are probably going to be in it. I think even Rayquaza will be in it.
So I mean, the company's called Quasar, right?
Yeah, Quasartico. Yeah. I think Rayquaza will be in it. I
think that's the most likely one. Yeah.
I think Rayquaza will be in it for some reason. And I just think the Gen 3 starters might be missing. Like, I think there's a chance. I am a firm believer that we aren't getting in regional forms because it doesn't make sense.
I want to believe we will get regional forms so they can stay like the original Legend starters. I don't know how much they care between them. I just don't know how much Pokemon cares about that though. Because honestly, I think Pokemon's kind of over regional forms. That's kind of a thought I have in the back of my head, and we'll talk about that more later. But I think Pokemon
there were only 2.
Because there were only two. I think what they're going to move to is like.
Well, I think they have other answers, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's regional forms at home, which is the convergent evolutions like Wiglet and
the lookalike Pokemon.
The lookalike Pokemon. I think that's. I also.
The future too, but
yeah, I think that's the future because then they can make new Pokedex numbers, and then if Diglett's in the game, we don't have to have 5 Diglets in the game, right? Right. I think Meowth is like the biggest offender of that right now.
I could see another Meowth form though. I could see that.
I can see them doing it. I just don't know. We'll talk about it in a little bit later, but I don't think they'll give them regional evolutions. I just don't see them doing that. I think they'll just do whatever it feels right for the game. That's what Legends is about, is just doing the gameplay is not the same in Legends. So why do the starters have to be the same? I think regional forms don't make sense outside of, you did have a very good point when we talked about this months ago, about being like, affected by like being close to Floette for so long or something like that. They get a new final form, but AZ's Floette, that is. But I just don't know how much I just don't know how much I subscribe to that theory. Like that, if it happens, I think that's the way it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You don't think they're just going to get megas?
I think they're just going to get megas.
That's the debate here. Yeah. It's like, that's the other option.
Yeah. I guess that's the follow-up question. Do you think we'll get, do you think the starters will get any kind of special treatment? And if so, what kind of special treatment do you think they'll get?
I'm on Team Forms. I'm on Team Forms.
I'm on Team Megas, there's Megas. I'm only on that team just because it's X and Y, and Kalos again, and that's kind of the theme.
Yeah.
But, I think there's no way we don't get special forms, and I think of some kind because of how the starters were chosen, and we get Chikorita and Totodile in the same thing with Tepig, and if they were, I feel like if they were just picking random Pokemon, they would have picked 3 different regions like they did for Legends Arceus. But
wait. Explain to me that logic again. Like, what do you mean?
It's weird that they don't have a lowland.
My logic is that I also think it's weird there's not a lowland. My logic is that they're curated. They picked these Pokemon in particular because they're kind of underrepresented in the community. They probably also have a backload of plushies of them. But also,
dude, could you imagine?
There's all 3 is trash.
Could you imagine that's how they decide the Legend starters? They just go to Pokemon Center and they go, how many of them do you have the most of?
So I would believe that if Poplio were there instead of Totodile.
That's fair. And and I was thinking about it because Legends Arceus gave us like 3 very popular starters. I feel like Oshawott and Cyndaquil and Rowlet, all super popular.
Yeah.
I feel like they went the other way this time and picked 3 that weren't very popular or 3 kind of underwhelming ones that they could, again, now just like ramp back up and give some special treatment to because they deserve it.
They do. No, I
don't know. Yeah. That feels like to me there's like it has to be a special form because if I just get Meganium at the end of this game, I'm like, well,
I agree with that.
I think it's going to be Mega Meganium.
My expectation is like the original Kalos starters are getting megas, and I don't know if we're going to get 6 new mega starters, right? Like that's where I'm at.
I think we're going to get, honestly, I genuinely think we're going to get like, I think the Gen 6 starters will probably get mega evolutions, right? Like that's happening.
On a list of Pokemon who deserve mega evolutions the most, the Gen 6 starters are number 1.
I think the Gen 6 starters I think are getting. So. Do you think the Gen? Okay, so what do you think about the Gen 6 starters?
We already have Ash Greninja.
I
not
think
anymore. They got rid of him.
Yeah, he doesn't. You can't get him in the game anymore.
You can transfer him in, but he doesn't transform.
But we have champions. We have champions. You don't think we're gonna get Ash Greninja back in champions?
He doesn't transform. Like he's not going to transform anymore.
In modern rules, he doesn't transform.
He just gets a stat boost when he gets a KO now.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Just so no transformation, just the boost.
No transformation, just the stat boost.
Are they trying to erase our history?
When you have a mega coming, yeah, you have to.
I genuinely think there's like a pretty decent chance, like a sizable chance that the mega form Greninja is just Ash Greninja.
There's a chance,
If I
think that's how you balance.
Stand on the strength of your convictions, Pokemon. That makes me upset. That already made me mad. Ash Greninja already made me mad.
Well,
mad.
Pokemon has gone ahead and Pokemon has gone ahead and retcon things before, right?
Oh man,
like Duraludon using Eviolite. That's new.
Duraludon using. I mean, they finally got over their Eviolite problem, which is kind of cool and great.
I'm happy. I'm ecstatic about that. I'm
glad they got over that finally, and because honestly, regional evolutions I hate so much. I just hate them so much. And I really think that where was I going with this?
I'm over here holding a Alolan Raichu like he doesn't mean it, baby. He doesn't.
No. He's not a regional.
He means Obstagoon. He means Obstagoon.
I mean Obstagoon. I'm really still mad about Weirdeer. I'm mad about Weirdeer. I'm mad about Cursula.
Oh.
I'm mad about Pokemon who got evolutions only in their regional form.
Well, Cursula is your fault.
How's Cursula?
It's all of our fault. Really.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
it's our fault. We are not taking care of this planet.
Cursula is my fault and all of our fault. Yeah. Team Aqua wasn't trying to do that. That wasn't their play.
Team Aqua was trying to make more water so there'd be more land for the Cursula. Yeah. Don't you do math, scientist?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about. I still want to stay on ZA for just a little bit longer. But I want to know, and this is probably a longer stretch and a little bit more speculative, because we don't have a lot of information. But like, what do you guys think at this point in the development process, in the release process? Obviously, we're probably going to find out in about a month anyway. But what do you think is going to be like the actual plot? Like, why are we there? What are we doing? Why are things the way they are?
That's got me curious.
Yeah, so the night it becomes Battle City Yu-Gi-Oh style, and you just face off against people and rank up, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we know Quasartico is like running stuff out of the tower, and there's something happening with the tower. I mean, I feel like we're generating mega energy or whatever it's going to be, and then there's going to be some. They're trying to resurrect the machine from 1,000 years ago or 3.
Okay, so the problem is the machine from 3,000 years ago,
energy, right?
Well, yes, it does. Yeah, that's very much much canon.
Zinnia went around and stole like mega, or the
this is canon.
Mega evolve. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is canon. That is canon. Mega evolution energy is a thing. But I do the ultimate weapon thing that people bring up a lot is I don't know.
Think the ultimate weapon's going to be part of it.
I don't think it can be because it's out in the other city. Oh my gosh, the name
Geosenge Town.
Geosenge, that's what it's called.
Where Lysander's buried. Yeah. Because he's definitely dead and not showing up again.
Lysander's totally showing up again. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, like maybe this is a continuation of X where he became immortal. So yeah.
He's definitely coming back again. Like he just is. I don't know what to tell anybody. He's coming back. It's just what it is. You don't think what?
I don't think he's going to be a villain if he shows up again.
Yeah. That's what it's right. This is what it's called. It's called the energy from Mega Evolution is called Infinity Energy. That's what it's called.
What I remember is the link cable connecting the worlds.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Lysander, if he shows up, just to get back on that for a second, he's gonna be like a hermit or like a like a reserve.
He's like AZ in the original game.
Yeah, almost like paralleled, right? Because AZ is now flashy and this hotel owner and is dressed nice and fancy, and now Lysander was that in X and Y, and now is like that reserved hermit who you might
that would be man
begrudgingly helps you along the way.
Yeah.
You might not know who he is.
You know what would be kind of funny is imagine if the Unova legends mattered in this game.
Like, you mean
no one expects it? Like Zekrom and Reshiram and Kyurem?
I kind of expect something to happen because I mean in Legends Arceus we got some random legend drops, right? And I do expect us to get some random legend drops in ZA. I don't know what it is. My thought
process is like the Parfum Palace had statues for the the Black and White Legends, right? There's no evidence of Yveltal and Xerneas existing in the region. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't there until maybe like the end and Hoopa Rings bring them in or something. But
you mean into the ZA?
Yeah, in Z to A.
I think in Z to A, I mean, I don't know how they answer because this obviously takes place after X and Y, right?
I don't know how Yveltal and Xerneas would fit in at all.
They're going to be there though. Like there's no doubt in my mind they're going to be there.
It would have to be like Hoopa Rings, right? Maybe, probably.
No, they just do a thing where they were released and after the trainer got bored with them or whatever, you know, and then you catch them. They're going to be there. I think Hoopa is going to be in the game. I think Volcanion will be in the game. I
mean, they have access to Hoopa, which means they can make any story work, which is annoying, and I hate it. Hoopa's like an awful mythic just because of that. It's like, that Pokemon's here because Hoopa said it is. That's okay.
Yeah, sure. I do think Hoopa is semi-problematic. About it, but
Hoopa's just lazy writing, and anything can happen because of it, and it's just kind of.
For the story beats though, I do think like Quasartico is doing something with Infinity Energy, and it's not a good thing. And then it either like brings Rayquaza in or something. I think there's a chance we even see like Zinnia in this game, right? Yeah.
What would be really hype is if they make it a shiny Rayquaza.
That would be cool.
And things.
They've been really
shiny Rayquaza.
They've been like really on that shiny Rayquaza hype lately.
They sure have. Can I pose a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we think we're going to see any recurring characters like gym leaders?
Well, we saw
at least Clement.
Emma. We saw Emma.
Yeah, Emma's on the cover of the game actually, I think.
Maybe I haven't seen that. Who's Emma?
She was at the end of
she was the post game. She was the post game of the first game.
So like we haven't talked about the cover art.
Never mind.
A lot in like the past couple weeks, but
that's because you had an off week that it came out.
I did have the off week when they announced it, but we haven't talked about the cover art, which is actually kind of nuts. I don't know if anybody has seen it. I think
happening.
Yeah,
it's my cover photo on Facebook. No, wait, this is a different thing.
This is the cover art for the game. I'm trying to pull up just the image. And then just So in the on there we have the cover art, and so Emma is in it with a Mega Lucario, and then there's a hand with a Pokeball that's 100% just Looker's arm.
Is it Looker or is it your rival?
I think it's Looker. I'm pretty sure it's Looker.
Because
it does have a Mega Stone on it, but I wouldn't also, based on the fact that Emma's got a Mega Lucario in front of her, I wouldn't be surprised if Looker also has a Mega at this point as well.
He doesn't even have Pokemon. He has a Krogunk.
That's fine. Mega Krogunk confirmed. That's fine.
It better be Krogunk and not Toxicroak. We know which
Mega Toxicroak confirmed. I mean, I think that's very, very possible. I don't think it's your rival, though. I don't think that art's your rival's arm. It could be like Professor Sycamore. Like, it could be Professor Sycamore's arm or something. But, I mean, if Emma's there, I wouldn't be surprised if Looker's not far behind. You know?
So the thing about that is...
It's 100% the rival's arm. It is 100% the rival's arm.
How do you know this?
Because I'm looking at the picture of the rival and the Mega bracelet, the button on the sleeve, and then it's 100%.
Okay, one sec. I'm gonna pull this up.
Look at Tawny specifically.
Tawny?
But it's both of them. It's both of them.
Oh yeah, okay, that is their jacket. You're correct. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You're
I just wanted to prove that
I am wrong.
I did all of that just to make sure.
Yep, you're correct. You're correct.
But mostly because I didn't recognize that.
No, you're correct, Bo. You're correct.
Is that Professor Sycamore in front of the Pokemon Center?
No,
I think that's some random guy.
No, there's no way. There's no way it's not a character.
It could be.
It is
could
definitely
be the language teacher from Paldea.
I think there's we talked about it a few weeks ago. I think there's a good chance that you get a bunch of people from a bunch of different regions. Like I think there's a good chance that you get, Legends, like Legends ZA. There was a line from like Larry in Paldea, where Jita is asking him to go to another region for a Pokemon tournament type thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if like Larry and a bunch of other people were there, and it's more like the Pokemon World Championships. Yeah.
I mean, you have 26 leaders to fill up.
Yeah.
They can't all be Zach.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to make us go through 26, but I
still don't believe that.
I don't think I assume there's going to be some kind of skip or something, but I would also honestly, so like in Thatch's Heart of Hearts, I would kind of be okay with it just because it's like a really long gameplay and they shoved a lot of characters in there for me to think about. And I don't mind that kind of grind. I think it sounds kind of fun. But I know that a lot of the Pokemon community probably would be upset. So
I've got a question for you. Do you think this is the final artwork, or do you think there's other megas that haven't been shown because they're new and they haven't announced them yet?
Oh, so they're not going to put the new megas, if there are new megas, on the cover art. I don't
think they would put like new starter megas on the cover art if those exist. But
look
I
at
think a new mega would show up.
Look at the cover art for Pokemon Legends Arceus.
There were
there's only 3 Pokemon on that.
No, there's more than 3.
No, there's a lot. There's a Lucario. That's the through line to the Legends games. The next
there are multiple
Lucario
Pokemon on that cover art. On that cover art, there is a Staraptor, there's a Shinx, there's a Pikachu, there's 3 starters, there's a Rhyhorn, a Bidoof, a Lucario, and all of those. None of those are new Pokemon.
Game Pokemon.
Yeah, but none of those Pokemon are like new Pokemon or like are Pokemon that were revealed.
They aren't even related to anything new, are they? Apart from the starters.
Yeah, no, this is literally just Pokemon. Like, it's fine. They're not going to take a new Pokemon and put it on the cover art. Like, I think that just doesn't happen. The only time
it is still weird seeing so many multiple Pokemon on a cover art too.
It is different. It is certainly different. It's because Legends games, in my opinion, I've asked for this for years, before Pokemon Legends like was a thing. I've always wanted them to take what they have as an existing property, which is just the Pokemon, and put me in a new adventure with the same old Pokemon. And I think it's still an exciting game, and Legends Arceus, I think, kind of proved that to an extent. It's still an exciting game, and you get to just go and have a good time, like with existing Pokemon. And yeah, sure, they're gonna dabble in, a couple new megas for me or a couple new forms, and yeah, that's fine. I think that's the way, like, honestly, for the sustainability of Pokemon, I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, it's a well-paced introduction of new things. I think that's the way to put it.
No, it's done very, very well, and I think that is the way to do it. I'm crotchety, and this is where I'm taking my stand.
Be like, here's 20 to 30 new things. I think that's how many Legends had too, right? Like it was 21, I think, new.
Yeah, something like that. It wasn't anything crazy.
And I would expect probably like 20 to 30 new forms and megas combined in this, something like that. Because I think both games had like 25-ish megas before. So
yeah, something like that. But yeah, I just think this is a very good way to handle it. We've been going for a while, and I want to take some time today to also address some other things instead of just Legends ZA stuff, which we've definitely talked about before, but I think these were interesting topics. Yeah, different people, different thoughts. I do want to talk about, the next year of Pokemon, right? Like October 13th happens, we're gonna get Pokemon. I see in like within the next year like 3 things. And well, one of them's a big maybe, but I think it's probable. But The first one is Pokemon Champions. I think that's like the next release after Pokemon Legends EA is Pokemon Champions.
I agree.
And I don't know how Bo feels about Pokemon Champions, but
big one.
Me likey. Yeah.
Good.
Pokemon Champions is like a great game. I like, honestly, it fixes, it honestly makes up for Dexit, like in my mind.
100%. Yep. I was like, this is the solution.
This is the solution to
it frees the games to be themselves, and now they can do different things with the games, and they don't have to center it around that core battle mechanic that's been going for the last 30 years.
I think,
I should say 17 years.
I think that
18 years.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think they will keep the battle mechanics. Like, I think you'll still have a core game where you have the single player experience with the traditional Pokemon battle mechanics. But what I think this does is, in my mind, there's been a huge issue. Well, the issue with like the Pokemon Legends games, right? Pokemon Legends is going to reveal to us new things, like in this case, Mega Evolution, right? And beforehand, I would have told you Gen 10 is going to have Mega Evolution. And I'll ask you that question here in a second. Yeah, I'm going to ask you that question here in a second. But I think that with Pokemon Champions, it alleviates the pressure for them to take whatever was revealed or put into a Legends game that might be interesting from a competitive standpoint in the turn-based Pokemon system. And it allows them to implement that almost immediately in the competitive scene instead of making us wait a whole extra year. Like, I think they would have really liked if when Pokemon Legends Arceus came out, that in the VGC format, Ursaluna and Weirdeer were just right up front. Like, I think they would have loved that. And they didn't have that opportunity because the game, there was no competitive battling with Pokemon Legends because it was so drastically different.
Right. But now is Legends Arceus not a core game?
No. It is a core game, but it doesn't follow the core battle system. No, it doesn't cover. It doesn't cover the core battle system.
So my point, was that Legends Arceus is a core game, doesn't have the core battle system. Now Legends ZA is even further from that core battle system. I'm saying Pokemon can now release more types of games like Legends.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah,
something different from that, and now it's still a core franchise game.
Yes,
that is,
you're absolutely correct.
Those Pokemon onto home, they still use those stats, but now we can play around with the battle system to where we can make it something different. And now, my suspicion is that it's going to try to be a New Worlds setting or whatever. But
no, I think
why not, right? Like, why wouldn't we have Worlds battles for ZA? You know, because they're different.
Oh no, this is going to be the VGC platform moving forward, right? Like.
That is my expectation.
Champions 100% is going to be the VGC platform. Yeah,
that's the VGC platform for now on. And then they're going to, they're just going to let us. They're going to. I'm very excited at the prospect of them being able to do like break from the pattern of the VGC cycle as well, which I'm kind of hoping they do. Where we get, here's the decks for the new generation. Here's the expanded decks for the new generation. Here's GS Cup. For those of you at home, GS Cup.
I expect them to do something similar, but not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that they're going to remove
or something.
So for those of you at home, GS Cup is the format we're currently in, where you're allowed up to 2 Pokemon that are like box art legends like equivalents, and it's typically a kind of a boring format. And I really see a world where they kind of step away from that because people know it's boring and they can mix up and they can do more. They can do different things. Like one of the best things they've done, and I think people have lauded this a lot, is during the Sword and Shield era of Pokemon VGC, there was just a block where they just took out the top 10 Pokemon from usage or something like that. And that was
the top 30, but it was weird because they took it from singles and doubles and combined it. So you had random good singles Pokemon banned from VGC for some reason. But it was fun.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about VGC. Well, maybe we should, but
actually the survey says you should.
Survey says I should talk about VGC, but which we will talk more about it, just not right now. The question I have, because I think Champions opens up a very interesting the possibility for the Pokemon community. A lot of from my point of view, and I could be wrong, I feel like this, and I know a lot of other people do as well. The Smogon formats have kind of like died out because you can't really play them on cart anymore because of the timer. For those of you who are unaware, since Pokemon came to the Switch, they determined that online Pokemon battles could be a maximum of like 20 minutes. I think you can stretch it to 30 in some cases, but that's honestly not enough. From my past experience, doing a lot of Pokemon battles, I used to do a lot of single battling in Gen 7 and previous to that. And I found that a typical Pokemon battle would run, like a single 6v6 Pokemon battle could run about 35 minutes. Now, there were those that were done in 20. I won't say there weren't. But if you're playing with two very skilled players, 35-ish, 40 minutes was not atypical. And I think that it's impossible to do on cart right now, because we have such a stringent time limit. And I would love to see that alleviated. And do you think, my question to you guys is, do you think Champions might help alleviate that problem, or do you think they're going to maintain this like ridiculous timer issue that we have now?
I don't know why there wouldn't be a custom timer. Rules will be, so I don't know.
Man, I want there to be a custom timer, Bo.
Yeah, I don't know how free the rules are going to be if you have to play via their like selected rules. So that's what I'm interested in.
I would really like, in a perfect world, that Champions is like there's a VGC format, like there's like here's main format, and then we're basically like Pokemon Stadium, where you can go in, you've got your different like cups that you can do that are already set, and then you can go in and make your own manufactured rules.
That's what I want. I think the value of Champions increases if you have that capability.
Yeah,
like I don't know if it'll be a launch. That's another thing.
That's true.
See that. I could see things being added.
Like it depends on like and it depends on how am I going to phrase this? It depends on the price point. It depends on the price point of Pokemon Champions. Right.
I think it's going to be free to play.
Yeah, I don't think they said that. I don't think they said that.
It's an app that's on the phone. I think it's going to be free to play, and you're getting cosmetics for your trainer.
It's either free to play or they're going to charge you money. Pokemon Home is also an app on your phone. And to get full access,
you can go on it for free. You get like
and have like 30 Pokemon. I think it'll be very similar for Champions. I think it'll be very similar to Champions. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a subscription with Champions, just like it is with Home. But I'm also curious. They haven't also said that like there won't be a cartridge or something for this as well, which I'm kind of curious about. I don't know. I want more Champions news, and I think that'll be probably part of the July 22nd Direct as well.
I imagine it is. There's a world where I could see it still coming out this year.
I could see it coming out pretty much like November, right after. December? Yeah, I could see it coming out just after Pokemon ZA comes out. I can really see that.
I was thinking a January release, probably like.
Yeah,
I think we're all in that 3 month window makes sense to me. Somewhere between November and January.
Yeah,
makes sense
I'm in
to
there
me.
November to January, somewhere in there too.
Yeah. My guess is December, because then you could start up the VGC scene again in January. Essentially, because the past 2 game switches, they shut down VGC after Worlds until the new game releases. Right? They did it with Ultra Sun and Moon, which made a lot of sense because you were switching consoles at that point. And they did it after Sword and Shield, where they were like, okay, you're not going to qualify for Worlds until the game you're playing for Worlds is out, right? Which makes sense. Yeah. I agree with that.
I could see it. I do see it coming out near the end of the year. I don't know if it'll be ready for, I don't know. It's not EUIC anymore. Which one's in November? Is it EUIC or is it?
I think it's LAIC, but they could move it around.
No, they could do that as well. Yeah.
I think they've had EUIC in February and they've had it in April, so they could do like one in February, one in April. Because they got rid of Oceania. So
yeah. Okay, I want to move us along because we're still on. This is going much longer, and that's great. I love the discussion. But there are a couple other things I want to get to.
We got more segments too.
We do have more segments too. Exactly.
Yeah, this is before the quiz. Still,
this is before the quiz. We haven't done the quiz yet.
We're not as far along as we.
But the so I guess we can talk about like one or two questions about Gen 10, but before that, I wanted to ask another question for the 30th anniversary. And this is very quick. We'll move on to Gen 10 right after this, but I think, and I want to know if you agree or disagree. I think there's a chance that for the 30th anniversary, we'll finally get red, blue, yellow, or maybe even more on Nintendo Switch Online or on a cartridge of some sort.
I hope so.
I mean, I hope. I think that's very likely to me, only because it's the 30th anniversary.
It feels likely, but I do not trust them at all.
I think it's very probable at this point, honestly. Like they're doing a very good job. Like what I think should happen for Pokemon at this point is maybe they should remake Black and White and Black and White 2 kind of like,
so yeah,
just like I think anything that was on DS, like the other 3 DS games, should be on should be ported to Switch in some way, shape, or form. I think that BDSP was an excellent way to do it, you know?
Yes, it was. People against BDSP.
BDSP was great. BDSP was fine.
It was
like
fantastic.
It was a fine vehicle to bring a game from an old system that looks ugly when you just.
I think the backlash to BDSP might be what killed a Gen 5 remake potential, and those people should cry. But yeah, I think they should do that. But I think it would be very good. You could have every generation on the Switch. Like you could have every generation eventually on the Switch family of systems.
Except maybe Sun and Moon. We could skip that one.
They'll do it anyway. But if they do it, they'll do it.
They should. They don't need to.
I think it's a very easy like home run for them. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think this is likely, Bo? What are your feelings, or do you just like hope it happens?
I mean, yeah, I kind of want it to just happen.
Yeah, it should, right? Like it just should.
It should, like, yeah, I feel like it's just it's kind of like a no-brainer. Like,
yeah,
like
home run.
Right, like,
home run.
Here it is. Just take it.
Yep.
Thanks. Bye.
What an easy way.
But,
like, do you hate money? I don't understand.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Follow up. Gen 10. We're gonna talk for like maybe 2 questions or something. But one first question that I'd like to ask is, I mean, we were talking about it a little bit, but do we think like Mega Evolution would make it to Gen 10? Like, would it happen? Or are they going to make their own? Are they going to make their own mechanic again?
I think we're going to see with how popular it comes back, because I think a lot of people complained with terrestrialization, where it's just silly hats and not forms. Whereas like even Z moves, like it wasn't forms, but it was custom animations. You know what I mean? Or the moves were. Like that was its own thing. Gigantamax was its own thing. Dynamax, even I love Dynamax. Like even if it's just making a Pokemon huge, like that's just I think fun.
It was a good spectacle for the first like TV game.
Yeah, I also think
it did its job.
Yeah, I think exactly. Dynamax also I think Dynamax from a competitive perspective is also just like very interesting, especially in doubles.
Yeah. Because you get you just get like a little 3-turn boost and then just back to normal. But and I kind of like Z moves for bad. But Megas I feel like are like it's just that extra big chess piece. You can play mind games with what's gonna Mega, what's not. And like I don't know. Yeah, Megas are just fun, and I think they were received the best because they were kind of like the first gimmick, I guess. Zekrom.
It's not even like the first
kind of gimmick.
They were. I would not count the little gems as a gimmick.
Yeah.
For Black
the first like regional gimmick. You know what I mean? But,
yeah, I wouldn't even call it a gimmick because to be fair, like, they didn't know what they were doing at the time.
They are.
Yeah. They weren't very clear about what they were doing with it at the time, which is unfortunate. And they brought them back for like another generation as well right afterwards. So it made it feel like it was like real. Something that was going to stay.
It was a real Pokemon, is what it felt like.
And unfortunately they didn't like, and since then, if you actually pay attention to the new gimmicks as well, they like heavily like region code them. So like it was very clear that Z moves are like a phenomenon that happens in Alola, right? It's not clear when you do Mega Evolution that this is a Kalos phenomenon, right? Especially when you go to Hoenn and you do the same thing.
Right.
And
Dynamax
it's not
same way. That was very Galar.
That's like, very Galar coded,
right?
Needed
to be in the specific area
yes.
where Dynamax was allowed.
Yes.
And same with Terrassalization.
And they were very clear. So, and Terrassalization, same way. They heavily coded for Paldea.
So it's like we are figuring out ways to expand it.
Yes.
So it makes sense to exist in Champions as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because you can make areas where you can terastallize.
Yeah, I think you could even make the excuse for Dynamax and Z moves to come back even in Champions.
I think Z moves would work a lot easier than Dynamax, but you could make an excuse for it.
Not saying that they should, but you could.
Could is a strong word.
Could and should are two different things. They are two very different things.
No, I want to master do Z move, Dynamax, Mega Evolution, Terastallize, all in one battle.
I want to walk up. I want to walk up like Ash Ketchum. Okay.
Yeah.
With all my bracelets on.
Yes.
All my bracelets are on. Okay.
My bracelets, my anklets. I got earrings. I got headbands. I got a belt. I got a sash. It's all there to help me boost my things to other forms, and I want there to be anything go.
Mm-hmm.
All in one battle.
I'm hoping they let me. I'm kind of hoping they let us do custom tournament rules on Champions. Yeah. Like that way we can do things like this. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My thought on Megas coming back was before they announced Champions, I thought for sure they would be.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure.
Now I'm kind of like maybe not. And I'm actually okay with that because I really like new evolutions more than Mega Evolutions.
Yes.
And after Gen 5 didn't do new evolutions, I just assumed we were done with them because Eviolite existed.
Yeah.
So Mega Evolutions were the only thing we had. But now we have new evolutions again, too. So it's kind of like a hard sell. I'd like a mix of them,
agree.
If that makes sense. I don't know.
I think a healthy mix of Megas and new evolutions is very good.
If we got a Gen 10 that was like a Gen 4, where we just got
everything gets fat.
It's an anniversary year. It could happen.
It is an anniversary year, And
on that note,
and then
go ahead, Bo. Finish that thought, and I'll ask my final question.
So, I lost my thought. So everybody, we could just get a ton of evolutions. We get maybe some type of gimmick, probably more based on evolution than anything else. But one just goes back to like their freaking roots, back to their convictions, and just see how that goes. Evolving a bunch of old things into new things, or even split evolutions. Like, let's do it. Who cares?
That should be the gimmick. That should be the gimmick.
Let's let Hypno evolve so it can be less creepy. We can do it.
Or give
jokes on you. It gets creepier.
Oh, man.
I don't judge people on their favorite Pokemon anymore, but Hypno's a red flag.
Yes.
Hypno's like my one red flag Pokemon at this point. That's the only one that gives a red flag.
Bo, I caught that joke and nobody else did. There's going to be like 5 people listening to the podcast. They're going to get that. And yeah.
Good.
Okay. Final question. Gen 10. I've said this before on the show several times and you guys know me well enough. Bo certainly does. But what do you think the chances are? Like what's your percentage chance that maybe because it's Gen 10, it's 30th anniversary, we just got all of the Pokemon available on Switch now, that we get like one last, everybody's here, and like Dexit isn't a problem on Gen 10 Switch. And I would love to see it, but what do you guys think there's a chance or no? Yes, no. What, if so, maybe what do you think that is?
Everybody's home on Gen 10.
Yeah. Everybody's home in Gen 10.
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
I think there's a world where they just do it for the novelty of it.
Okay.
You gotta get Alolan Rattata somewhere, right?
I think
Alolan Rattata is available on Switch technically, but like
you can't send it.
And Let's Go, yeah.
It's in Let's Go, but I guess it is stuck if you send it to home though, because it only goes one way from Let's Go. Pikachu.
Well, I mean, I guess it can't be stuck in. Well, it is if you bring it from Go, or if you bring it from Gen 7. Because it can't enter.
Yeah.
But
okay, so Alolan Rattata. Okay, Alolan Rattata is a problem. That's what I'm hearing.
I mean, is it though? Who cares about Alolan?
I do
Who's
actually.
the Alolan Rattata fan?
It's me. If there is one, it is me. I like Alolan Rattata better than regular Rattata. I like it.
Both of them. They're
That's
adorable.
fair.
I like them. Call me a
I
Gen
wish
1.
Alolan Raticate was a different color.
I think there's a chance this happens though. I think there's like a small chance.
No, I think there's a chance. I think it's
like 5-10%.
DLC.
I'm saying it happens with like DLC. I don't think it happens right away. I think
post DLC.
I think it's absolutely DLC.
No, I could see it with the DLC. I thought you meant from game launch. I'm like, no way. No,
because they definitely tried to do it they tried to like encompass that feeling with the Blueberry Academy DLC by being like, look, all the starters are here. And in my brain, I'm just like, why weren't they just there to begin with? Because like, if there are any Pokemon that should be available in every game, it's those.
It should be. Yes, you are correct. That is the correct response.
Like what they did in Sword and Shield was nonsense. What they did with Sword and Shield was nonsense. They should have every starter available in every game.
Bringing Charmander back and not, get out.
Charmander's above a starter at this point.
Don't even get me started. The survey responders cannot handle my takes. Okay. They don't like that. I don't like that Charizard gets special treatment. And it doesn't deserve it. You can't just bring back Charizard and not bring back Blastoise and Venusaur, okay? You can't do that. You can't make me wait for home compatibility so I can do it. Just saying. You just can't do it, Pokemon.
Charizard's definitely going to be in base Gen 10 before the others, though.
But yeah, I guess we can wrap it up here. Unless you guys have any final thoughts. But we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up here. If you guys have any thoughts on these questions we've asked, send those in to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read them during the mailbag of next week's episode. So definitely do that.
Miss crafting.
That's crafting. That needs to happen.
Miss crafting.
I do miss crafting. It's not coming back.
It's not coming back, and I already miss it.
Bo, you got to get on the next Puckle Region episode. The next Puckle Region episode, we're going to talk about mechanics we want to happen in the Puckle region.
Definitely apricorns.
It's going to be like way cooler apricorns. Okay. We're importing Kurt.
Yeah.
Specifically Kurt. Not the Cramomatic apricorns.
No, I'm gonna give a small business loan to Kurt so that he can have an empire. Okay. That way I can buy Kurt Pokeballs in the store.
Do you think you could find an Alolan Kurt? Like there's an Alolan Oak?
These are good questions. All right. Well, that is going to be it for our topic. We've got to kick it on over to our Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge. So we will catch you all on the flip-flop.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark from the Dunsparce Gang, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
Welcome to Puckle's Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-host. Thank you for that introduction, Mark. Reminder to everybody, you can send in your questions to us at pucklediscord.com. We love having your questions and we love using them. But we're going to quiz your co-host, so we're going to get to your first question. It's a general trivia question, as always. It's the first one's going to be from Squid, huge in Japan. And this question is hopefully answered entirely by Bo. So no pressure, Bo.
None taken.
Who are the first four Pokemon mentioned in the Poke Rap?
Oh my gosh.
You have to know this.
Diglett,
Nidoran, Mankey, Venusaur, Rattata, Pidgey.
Oh, and I know.
There we go. Okay, you got it right. Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, and Mankey. That is the correct answer.
Electro. I just never remember which segment's the first one, so that's
there we go.
Right. That's it.
Well, once you start, I can keep going, but I don't know the start.
All right, so that's 1 point for you guys. Your next question is another general trivia question, and this one's going to come to you from Gigasaurus Games. And that question is, what is the only volatile status condition blocked by misty terrain after Generation 6? And by volatile, it means that it can be healed on switch out. It's not something that like you carry post battle. What is the only volatile status condition blocked by misty terrain after Gen 6?
Would it not be confusion?
That's where I'm like, is it not just confusion? Is this a trick question?
Like,
I don't know. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that any of that.
Like, I understand that it doesn't block like curse or taunt, right? I assume those are the status conditions we're dealing with. I know.
We tell if it's not a trick question.
Like, I'm pretty sure
it's a question. It's a question.
Because I feel like there's been strategies where people will swagger their own side with misty terrain up. Like specifically, Tapu Fini would run swagger on your own Pokemon.
Because it wouldn't confuse.
Because it wouldn't get confused. So it's got to be confusion, right?
Is that your answer?
Not thinking too hard, right?
Is that your answer?
Confusion.
I think it's confusion.
Confusion is correct. Confusion is the answer.
Bam. Yes.
Okay, there we go.
It's actually attack decreases. All right, so you're 2 for 2. Your next question is your Pokedex entry, as always. And this one comes from Batista on the Discord. Your first entry is from Pokemon Diamond.
Okay.
It has an aggressive nature. It stabs prey with its long, narrow mouth. To drain the prey's fluids.
So my first thought is Gorobis, right?
It's either Gorobis or Beautifly, and I'm pretty sure this one is Gorobis.
Okay.
Are you going to go with
Neither
Gorobis
of them
on this
naturally appear, but yeah, we can start with Gorobis, yeah.
All right, Gorobis. Okay, you get your next entry. This is going to, again, be from Batista. You can choose to change it afterwards. This entry comes to you from Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Okay, so it's not. We are changing it.
Beautiful.
Yes. Okay.
A colorful and incredibly beautiful, but also greedy Pokemon. In an effort to keep its favorite food all to itself, it will chase away Combi as they try to gather nectar.
Mm-hmm.
I feel Beautifly is probably correct.
That's Beautifly.
Yeah. Beautifly. You're locking that in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I almost said that with the drain the fluids, but I thought Gorobis, that one was also specific towards it. But yeah, they have that needle mouth. That needle mouth.
They do. They have that in common, and they're both
Beautify is the answer, just in case you needed the validation, but Beautifly is the answer.
Yeah.
Thank you for the validation, Thatch. I already grabbed my points and was walking.
Yeah, you were like walking out the door without like the receipt, you know?
And the right answer, I guess you get it. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. So you guys are 3 for 3.
By how quick we moved on. Yes.
Yeah, you guys are 3 for 3. Your next question is your multiple answer question, as always. There are 5 answers to this question. And I guess because you told me that
he said it was Pocket though.
You told me that you like Pocket. You told me you like Pokemon TCG Pocket. And I'm gonna go ahead, and what we're gonna do is you'll get 1 point for the first 2 answers. You'll get 2 points for the first 4 answers, and if you get all 5, you get 3 points.
Okay, so 4 points for the first 2 answers, 2 points for the first 3 answers.
All right, so the question is gonna come to you from Not Quite the Bot. In Pokemon TCG Pocket, what are the names of the different link abilities? The abilities that require Arceus or Arceus EX.
Oh,
that's
enjoy.
Hard.
Enjoy that.
That's actually hard.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't ask it last week.
I can tell you what the Pokemon are. I don't know what the names of the abilities are.
Can you confirm for me that they all have Link in the name?
They do all have Link in the name. I will give you that free piece of information.
Okay, because that's the part I'm like, I will not get. I don't remember it.
There's T-Tar, Carnivine.
It's Carnivine. Yeah, that's okay. That'll help me. Carnivine, Crobat, T-Tar, Abomasnow, Raichu. Do we
You do
already
have
say
3
Crobat?
strikes and then you're out. The good news is you did name all of the Pokemon that have these abilities.
It's all like, I want to say it's like Vigor Link, and then
You have to lock the answers in if you're going to answer them. Obviously, you have 3 strikes and then you're out.
Man,
I'm trusting you.
Do I have to get right?
You do have to get them right, or you get a strike. Yes.
Well, how many do I have to get right to get the points?
You have 3 strikes. You need 2
so
per
five answers to get all of the points. 2 answers will give you 1 point. 4 answers will give you 2 points.
I'm pretty sure. Okay. Rotom was the other Pokemon I didn't name.
Mm-hmm.
And Rotom does the free retreat, and I'm almost
along
positive
with
that was
too, right?
Yeah, and Heatran, and I forgot about Heatran. I think it is still Speed Link, because Rotom I did not get forever, and I had like every other card in the set, including like all the immersions and every card, and I still did not have this Rotom, and I couldn't complete the stupid emblem thing, and so yeah, this card is burned in my brain. Anyway, I know that one is Speed Link. I'll lock in.
Speed Link is correct. That is one of them. Yeah, it's on Heatran and Rotom. You're correct.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Vigor Link is the other one that's boosts attack, and that's the one that's on Tyranitar.
Are you gonna lock in Vigor Link?
Is that Carnivine too?
I'm gonna lock in Vigor Link. Yeah,
Vigor Link is correct. I will tell you that's on Abomasnow.
Oh, okay.
What's on?
I don't know any of the. What's the one that does damage to the active?
That's weird that I knew that one.
Crobat's the only one that has the one that deals damage to the active.
Is it Poison Link? No, because it's not poison. Poison's more
specific.
Is it? I think it's Cunning Link. Is it Cunning Link?
Are you locking that in? Cunning Link is correct, and that's on Crobat. Yeah. Okay. That's 3 answers. There are 2 more.
So, what are the other abilities?
What is Raichu?
The one that Raichu is a shield. I don't think it's Shield Link. I don't. What are the other Pokemon?
It's right. Carnivine was Vigor Link, right? So it would be Raichu, Magnezone.
No. Well, no, Carnivine wasn't Vigor Link. He said it was Abomasnow, so maybe. Is it Power Link? I'm gonna say Power Link.
Finally, are you locking that in? Power Link is correct. That's on Carnivine and T-Tar. That is 4.
Okay.
That is 4 answers.
Is it?
So we need Raichu still, essentially.
Yeah, but it's a shield, and I can see him putting up the shield.
You guys have no strikes so far. You have no strikes.
It's not like Brilliant Link. It's not Shield Link, but it Resistance Link. Resistance Link. No.
I don't know.
Resistance Link.
Are you locking that in?
I feel like it's right there. Is it okay? I get a strike, right?
Yeah, you get 3. You have 3. You have 2 strikes. 3 technically. 3, then you're out. You have no strikes so far.
Is it okay? Is it Resistance Link?
It is not Resistance Link. I kind of want to give it to you because you got like most of the words.
Is it okay? So, but it is R word.
It is, yeah.
Okay, I'm close then because I can see it in my brain. I'm just like
Resilient?
Look at the cards.
Would it be
Resilience? I think it's Resilience. I think it's Resilience Link.
Is that where you're going with?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Resilience Link is the answer. Yeah, that is.
Let's go Sigma with the last point. Yes.
That is 3 points for you. That's on Magnezone and Raichu. Yeah. Yeah, so that was, it is Vigor Link on Abomasnow, Power Link on Carnivine and Tyranitar, Cunning Link on Crobat, Speed Link on Heatran and Rotom, and Resilience Link on Magnezone and Raichu.
Oh, Magnezone too. I kept saying Magnezone. I was like, I forgot.
Yeah, you said it multiple times.
All right, so your last question's your base stat question as always. And you do still have the hint, but you can try to risk it for the biscuit, I guess, here. This is from Egotistical Elekid. What psychic type Pokemon has the lowest base special attack?
Oh.
What psychic type Pokemon has the lowest base special attack?
So I could see it being something stupid like Wobbuffet, or why not? Probably.
Why not?
In that
Okay.
direction.
Why
as an option, but there are some really weird Pokemon that have very weird stat spreads.
I'm just trying to think. Like, first of all, I was like, okay, what are physically attack psychic types? But then I'm like, well, what are more defensive? I guess little baby psychic types that wouldn't have anything. I don't know. This has never been my strong suit.
I mean, we could use the hint. I'm not against it because I don't feel strongly about why not. So.
Right.
Okay, you want the hint?
I think so.
Sure.
This is a mono psychic type Pokemon that evolves once.
Well, sure, that doesn't rule out why not. Thanks.
Sure does not. Regionals. Is it any regionals?
It is the color blue. Like, wait, what more do you need?
It still doesn't rule out why not. Thanks.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't rule out why not. I wonder why that is.
Does this Pokemon
this
isn't Pokemon 15 questions, Bo. Okay.
Does this Pokemon ask a question itself?
I don't know.
Does this Pokemon's name ask a question in itself?
I don't know. I can't answer that. You got your hint. You got your hint, and plus you got a hint plus.
Why not, Thatch? Why not?
Is that your answer? Is that your answer?
That's
or is that your question?
Why not? Why not be the answer?
Why not is correct. Why not has a base stat of 23. Bronzor, it follows up with 24. Cosmog and Cosmo-M follow up that with 29. And then Wobbuffet is in the bottom 5 as well, with the special attack stat of 33. Yeah.
Outside of Z moves.
So that does change up our standings. So let me go ahead and pull those numbers up. I'm going to have a leaderboard next week. I've been working on one, but it's not up on the screen right now. But you guys got 8 points. That's as good, or not 8. You got 7 actually. My bad.
I was gonna say we missed at least one.
No, you used the hint, which is what happened.
Well, yeah, it was a hint. Yeah.
I usually let you guys recover from from the Pokédex question on the multiple answer, and so that gives you guys 7 points. Does that change up the standings? Actually, it doesn't. In first place, we've got Seth Vilo with 61 points. In second place, we have Claude9 with 59 points. In third, R Sigma with 55, followed up by Lord Yushiro with 44. Linian's right behind in fifth place with 37. Whimsicott on his tail with 35 in sixth. Shark Finnegan in seventh with 32. Sublime in eighth with 30. And Bocefus is bringing up the rear here with 25. It's still anybody's game because we have until the end of November. So at the end of November, we'll take the top 4 in the leaderboard and they will get to face off in a tournament of champions during the week of Christmas. So Thatch can bottle that episode. But with that, though, guys, that's where we stand. And we're going to kick it on over now to Puckle's Pokey Opinion. Welcome to Puckle's Pokey Opinion, where we just answer a random question. You can submit these on Discord, or we just come up with our own. This week, we are pulling from Discord from Optimal Yveltal. And they ask, if Game Freak came to you, gave you a team of artists and game developers, and told you to design a Pokemon line to be added to the Generation 10 games, what would you design? Do you guys have an answer for this?
I get a whole new line.
You get a whole line, yeah. Whole line of Pokemon.
I have several. I've designed many Pokemon over the course of my...
Pick one that you like the most.
Easily. My favorite one is a fossil.
Okay.
It is a grass and rock type. And the final stage is a woolly mammoth called Mammoth. Or Mamos, I'm sorry.
Mamos. That's a good name. That's a good name.
I like it.
Yeah. The wool is that willow tree hanging moss that comes down, right?
Okay, that's good. Right? I like that.
That's
I like
pretty
that.
Cool, right? The tusks are stone, like
Man,
Like
okay,
old,
you're selling me.
Old Rocky Stone. It's a cool Pokemon, right?
Yeah, that's really good.
You ready for your mind to be blown?
I guess so. Yeah.
I kind of want it to be a starter too. But
it's a fossil.
I'll pitch my region to you another time. Oh yeah, all the Pokemon starters in my region are that.
You really need to be on one of those Make a Region episodes.
Yeah, we have a Make a Region series that you have not been on.
You need to be on that. Yeah.
Next time you're on, we'll do one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that's the final stage. It scales up a little bit, but the initial the initial form that comes out of the fossils has a tiny stone that it wears on top of it. And it also just flips it around and plays with it, but it's a flat rock. And its signature move is Smackdown because it just throws it at stuff and takes down bird types.
Your answer is going to be so much better than mine. So
I haven't thought about this at all. So
this is where I shine. I'm not mathematical. I'm not good at fighting. I'm not fast, but I'm creative. I got a pretty brain.
I just want to make a fish cooler than Basculin. That's all I ask.
Oh, give me a fish cooler than Basculin.
That's all I care about. Just
easy.
Something better than Basculin. It's a very low floor.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like we need like whenever I think of new Pokemon, I always just think of like type combinations when I think about it. And like wait, I mean, they have like checked a lot off the list, but I feel like in very unsatisfying ways. Like I can think of like Electric Fairy only being on like Tapu Koko essentially, and
Dedenne.
Okay, Dedenne doesn't count. And but also like the one that really bothers me is Electric Fighting only being on Palmot.
I mean,
yeah. I'm upset by this. I'm upset by Palmot being Electric Fighting.
I feel like we should have gotten an Electric Fighter a lot earlier.
Yeah,
I think it should have been Electivire. Yeah.
I wouldn't design like a brand new Pokemon, but I would love to like design like a regional Hitmonchan where the whole deal is it's like an Electric Fighting Hitmonchan.
What I was gonna say, what if you had like Tyrogue with multiple types as the evolutions? It's all biting type.
Oh, Eevee.
But okay, like an Electric Fighter and a
Eevee Tyrogue.
Well, maybe not a Water Fighter. We don't need more water fighting types.
No,
Tyrogue is
fighting.
Such a great candidate for that.
Ice Fighting. You make it Ice Fighting because the only other one we have is Crabominable.
I could see
Tyrogue all the opposite Eevees.
Oh, that could be cool.
Evolutions.
But it has to be mixed with fighting type. It has to be mixed with fighting.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Because Eevee's normal, so then you get fighting, but then you get like ground fighting, ice fighting, steel fighting.
Yeah, that could be cool. I would be down for that. Actually,
you would miss electric though.
I was always surprised they didn't do something like that in like Gen 5. It would have been an easy thing to do. Just make a normal type, like an Eevee that evolves into the physical types, and you're golden.
I am surprised. I am surprised they haven't done something like that. I'm also very impressed with the restraint as of lately, not creating a new Eevee evolution.
I mean, the fact that we're getting a pocket Eevee set means there is 0 chance that evolution is in the new NZA, right? 0% chance.
No, it's not happening. There's no Eevee. Like there can't be.
That was like the death sentence to the Eevee believers.
We'll see though. I mean, I don't know. Like Pokemon just isn't predictable anymore. So I don't want to say that, but
I feel like you don't create a bunch of merchandise with Eevees on it if you're going to need to update it.
I wouldn't call like a TCG pocket set merchandise.
Yes, but we also had Year of Eevee earlier for like North America.
Yeah, they don't care.
And
they
like
don't
the
care.
West in general. And if you know
they don't care.
Website. It's still on the Pokemon Center website, Year of Eevee.
If you knew a new Eevee was coming, you wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah, but if you make a new Eevee to even like hype it up even more, right?
Oh, they make a new Eevee during the year.
Yeah, during the Year of Eevee.
Don't bring me back around on this.
Yeah, you hype up the Year of Eevee with a new Eevee.
I was. Dang it.
Bo's like walked out of the room. He's just upset. Game over, you know?
He gave me maybe you do. And not what was logical, but he gave me what I want. I'm a sucker for what I want.
Flying type Eevee, here we come. Flyon,
Please.
here we come.
It better be dragon if it exists.
It's gonna be flying. If it's anything, it's gonna be flying.
I know the data mine. Well, not even data mines. The stolen data is like, we were gonna do a flying type, but it was too close. It looked
I don't
like
know.
fan art, so we couldn't.
I don't know if I believe that data mine entirely either, though. But that's another story for another day.
Yeah, it's. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that's been good. If you would like to answer this question as well, you can send that in to us at puclpodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, that has been our pokey opinion this week. So with that, we are going to kick it on over to our final segment, which is in the proper place that it should be in, which is our mailbag. So we'll kick it on over to that. Welcome to our mailbag. The mailbag is the part of the show where you can email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what your thoughts were on the topic or the pokey opinion or any part of the show, or you can even yell at me. You could do that in the email at puclpodcast@gmail.com. But before I continue, if you write a great email and we really resonate with it, we'd love to hear your thoughts. We might give you the Green Tauros badge. Because this part of the show is sponsored by the fictional energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
And as always, like I said, we'll give the Green Tauros badge if we feel inspired and or remember. It is late. We may not remember. But before we begin with the emails, I would like to give a little shout out to our YouTube viewers. We get wonderful comments over there all the time. And our favorite one this week came from Mark Krazier over there. And he was talking about Ryuki because we nominated Ryuki as one of the members of the Puckle Region's Elite Four. And he says, what I think about Ryuki is that he would have fit cleanly in the Ultra Games if they were a year later. The gyms are now a thing. With a side of the gym quest is the totem into the gym leader type deal. This is a classic YouTube comment. Very coherent. To hit both systems. So Ryuki is the dragon leader. Then we have either the trial captains or the 7 randos as other gym leaders. I don't know if we do gyms, but I would love to have seen Ryuki as an eighth challenge. Captain, yeah, that's what they called him. I didn't know.
It's not like Komodo had anyone watching over him.
You're not entirely wrong there. But
yep.
Well, let's get into the emails then. Our first email this week is going to be from Shellman. And I believe you got this one, Sigma.
Yeah. Hiya, Puckle peeps. Just like last time, I'm here for the Puckle region, and I'm bringing goods. The Elite Four and Champion should be the best of the best in the region. But to me, it often feels like at least some of them are less noticeable and less poised as trainers than some of the gym leaders. Just like in real life, those who make it in their careers aren't always the most competent, I guess.
Wow, preach.
For the Puckle region, I do, however, feel that a good foundation is needed. And while the very niche pick of Jet was probably surprising for most, myself included, it is absolutely wonderful.
Jet was so
alongside fun. I have no clue who Jet is.
Okay, I'll explain in a second. I'll explain. Yeah.
Okay. Alongside great trainers with skill and brains comes the guy that is pure effort, inspiring trainers all over the region to chase the dream.
Okay, so pause right here. Jet is a manga only Pokemon character from the Heart Gold Soul Silver manga. When they go to the Pokeathlon, this man is all about speed. He's also a character in Heart Gold Soul Silver when you do the Pokeathlon. He has a bunch of Pokemon that are like speed, and then I believe he also has a Sunkern for the meme in the manga. So
I mean, makes sense if you ever did Pokeathlon. I believe Sunkern can max out all stats.
It can, yes. We said all the rest of the leaders had normal types, but we said that Jet was going to be the speed type.
So you better have a Dodrio. Is just like
he does have a Dodrio in both the manga and in the game. Yes,
as he should. If you're all about speed, Dodrio is.
You have to have Dodrio. It's a requirement.
It is a requirement. It is the fastest Pokemon.
It's so fast.
Dodrio,
base
Rapidash,
110 speed.
Dragapult,
Gosh, come on, nothing faster.
Yeah.
Did you not see that great race episode? That thing is so fast. It can only be beaten by Rapidash, whose hooves are like diamonds.
I've been watching a lot of Pokemon TV lately, actually, so this checks out.
It makes it really easy to watch those.
Yeah.
I love it. I especially I love that they have a live stream going the entire time as well. So like I can just kind of turn it on. It's fantastic.
So nice.
All right, let's continue the email though. Now that we've been acquainted with Jet, I feel like you got close, but want to present some alternatives. While a Tobias with Darkrai, Latios, a Mew found under a truck in Kanto, missing no. Mindy's Haunter Force evolved into Gengar despite holding the Everstone. And Arceus's dad on the team would be a great champion skill-wise. I don't feel that he is the type. A champion is a figurehead and an administrative function within the league.
Whoa.
And Tobias feels more...
I disagree. Blue was champion. I disagree.
I mean, this is something that is more like new, right?
Yeah.
The idea that they are administratively.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it probably started with Leon, right?
Leon for
kind
sure.
Of like where they.
Leon was a goofball. Leon was more like
a figurehead that was a puppet of.
Yeah, he was like a mascot.
They definitely weren't administrative.
He was Rose's puppet.
They definitely weren't administrative in Gen 7, right? Like that wasn't true. They just like.
Well, I mean, they didn't have a champion in Gen 7.
Yeah,
you were the champion. But like, also they didn't have the structure for a champion in Gen 7. So yeah, because they had the Kahunas that did all that stuff.
Kahunas, what a great name!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so perfect.
Dang, are you gonna bring back Kahuna Thatch?
Kahuna Thatch.
You remember how good Sun and Moon were, though?
Can we take a second and remember how the trainer school was awful?
Yeah.
It was bad. It was really bad. It was.
Oh, whatever. You guys are just remembering.
No, I went through it many times.
I'm not.
It was not good.
I went through it recently.
No,
Bo,
you guys.
It was so slow.
I challenge you to get through the first 2 hours of that game and tell me how far you get.
I just did it like yesterday. Well, a week ago.
Yeah, and how far did you get in 2 hours? How far did you get in 2 hours?
Well, I have a Dartrix now, so pretty far.
Not that far.
That's about right. That's about right. You might be on the next
island.
island.
Farther than 2 hours in. I'm past the trainer school.
Well, yeah, you get past the trainer school in the first
I'm on the second
it's
island.
Still not fun.
It's not a good time. It's a slog. It's like walking through mud. Gen 7 and Gen 8 were both like that.
Stop having fun, Bo.
No,
that
game
stinks.
I love
you can't like it
after the training.
You can't like any of it.
I love the game after the trainer school. I think the game is fantastic afterwards.
The trainer school is an awful introduction to the game.
Yeah.
Granted, after playing BDSP again to get like my shiny Manaphy, the hunting the clowns in Jubilife also isn't like super fun, but it's not as bad as trainer school.
Trainer school was bad. But Bo, I'm not saying that the game is bad. I'm just saying that part of the game is terrible. I love everything else about that game, if it makes you feel better. Alolan Rattata's in it.
We can move on.
All right, I'm gonna continue this email while you.
Yeah, sorry. While
you,
the mailbag.
You debate your young goose and Alolan Rattata. Anyway, a champion is a figurehead and an administrative function within the league, and Tobias feels more like the type of character you battle in some strange battle frontier branch, or who guides you towards solving a mystery of the region and getting to the legendary. I feel like you had the right answer right from the get-go. Zinnia is your champion. Which is fair. Zinnia is a cool character. This leaves us with the issue of whether we can have both her and Ryuki on the roster, which I personally don't think. So Ryuki could easily take place as your battle tower guy. So who would replace him then? I think the answer lies in the thing this Elite Four naturally lacks: experience. For this very reason, my pick falls on Lorelei. The ice type offers far more options.
Oh, but she was
now
busy. She's
than-
busy. She has a job.
What job?
Okay.
Collecting plushes?
I guess actually she doesn't have a job now in the Pokemon. I don't know how this works.
She's retired.
We brought her out. I guess we could bring her out.
Have you
of
seen her
retirement.
plushie collection? She probably wants to get free of the plushes. Save her.
Did we
Give her
just-
something.
She buys those emotional support plushes after you beat her for the 2000th time.
Actually, doesn't it cap out at 200? But still.
Well, yes, I exaggerate numbers.
If you do that,
I
then
understand.
can't you evolve Psyduck into Yoshi and get a Pokemon?
No, Dragonite evolves into Luigi.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, the ice type offers
Yep.
far more options now than back when she was in the Indigo League. She could bridge the biggest gap on the roster's flaws. Hope you all have a good week, Shellman.
Well, thank you, Shellman. All right, we've got one more email today, and this one is going to be from Azamar, almost like the D&D race.
Yazamar,
The
yes.
Azamar. All right, Bo, you got this one.
So I found a pretty interesting Reddit thread regarding Tobias Pokemon. I'm going to copy paste below instead of sending you a link. It's from the Reddit thread of Pokemon conspiracies. Now this might be a bit of a stretch, but I thought it would be fun to speculate. To figure out the rest of his team, Tobias
Yeah, you're right.
Might be we need to find a pattern in his known Pokemon Darkrai and Latios. Well, as Thatch has said many times, you can't extrapolate a pattern from 2 data points, but
Actually,
judging
there's
from
more than
these
2
two,
data,
we
data
can
points. It actually it comes together. I read this. This is actually pretty good.
Judging from these two, we can assume that he doesn't use any common Pokemon and only chooses to use the most powerful Pokemon that were available to him at the time. For example, if his next Pokemon was something like Scizor, it would be a weird pattern. Even though Scizor isn't weak, it isn't the most powerful Pokemon either, so he wouldn't be a great fit for him with his other two. The first thing they both have in common is that they're both legendary, seeing as Diamond and Pearl anime didn't introduce any new Pokemon outside of the movies. This leaves us with every legendary up until Gen 5 as an option, these being Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, Mewtwo, Mew, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Entei, Raikou, Suicune, Celebi, the 3 Regis, Latias, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Jirachi, Deoxys, the Lake
This is
Trio,
very long
Dialga, Heatran, Regigigas, Giratina, Cresselia, Manaphy, Shaman, and Arceus. Now, in the anime, even though stats don't really exist, the Pokemon who are portrayed as the most powerful are usually the ones that have the high base stats total in the game. Legendaries are 680 plus, are near unbeatable, and the ones with 600 are extremely powerful but can still be beaten. 5 to 530 are really strong, etc., etc. Of course, these are exceptions to there are exceptions to these like Ash's Pikachu, but that is usually because the Pokemon has a backstory exclusive to the anime explaining to why it is so powerful. Since his main Pokemon was Darkrai, he most likely didn't have a Pokemon who was a lot more powerful as backup. This eliminates Mewtwo, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Dialga, Palkia, Regigigas, Giratina, and Arceus. If we look at the next thing, his 2 Pokemon have in common is that they both have a base stat of 600 in the games, which we can now assume equates to an equal amount of power in the anime. If we were to assume his whole team follows this pattern and all have the same base stat, we can eliminate Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, Cresselia. These can all be eliminated since it is seen as Darkrai's rival, and the 2 couldn't coexist together. I believe in the anime, it also negates Darkrai's ability. That makes sense. Next, during the battle, Ash's Gibble uses Draco Meteor on Darkrai, but it fails to defeat it. However, in the Japanese dub, Tobias comments saying that the move would have certainly defeated any of his other Pokemon besides Darkrai. This means Darkrai had something his other Pokemon didn't that prevented it from being defeated by that move. If we look at his only other Pokemon, Latios, we can see that there is only one reason Draco Meteor would defeat it, but not Darkrai. is because Latios is Dragon type, it is weak to the move. Seeing as only Dragon types are weak to Draco Meteor, we can conclude that the rest of his team were made up of Dragon types. That's interesting. This eliminates every remaining Pokemon on the list except for Latios, who does seem like a good fit since he already has Latios, and the two are usually paired. Now we've run out of legendary Pokemon, but he still has 3 spots left if we go by assumption that the rest of his team are Dragon types and that his team follows a pattern of Pokemon with the 600 base stat total. Then we can add the 3 pseudo-legendary Pokemons that are Dragon types available at that time, which are Dragonite, Salamence, and Garchomp, to give him a full team of 6. That means he has Darkrai, Latios, Dragonite, Salamence, and Garchomp. Thought you might enjoy Azumar.
All right.
That is interesting logic to jump from.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I think it's pretty valid. I'm not gonna say it's not.
I vote that he has a Victini.
Yeah,
because why not?
I would give Azumar the badge. However, most of that was just a Reddit post.
It was a Reddit post, yeah.
So
no, copy paste is disqualified from badge.
I think
100%.
Shellman gets
I will
the
veto
badge.
it.
I think Shellman gets the badge.
Way to go! I think it's Shellman.
Shellman.
Correct us, Shellman. If you what your name is, tell us what your name is. I think it's Shellman.
Shellman.
Like
Shellman.
Like Hellman, but with an S. Shellman.
What? Okay.
Oh.
If you want to keep up with us,
I was
throughout...
thinking.
Oh,
Shellman?
Go ahead, Sigma.
Oh no, I was gonna say like Shellman, like Spoon Man. Do. You know. Yeah.
If you want to keep
use the spells with your hand. Yeah. I'm with you.
If you want to keep up with us throughout the week, you can come and find us over on our Discord server at puclpodcast.com. You can, of course, follow us on social media over at Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook. Additionally, you can also come out to the streams at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. I am traveling this week, so I unfortunately won't be able to make the stream on Wednesday, but we will be back the week after that, and I think we have a pretty clear schedule for a little while after that, at least for the month of July. Additionally, if you want to help support the show, you can always go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/puclpodcast. And I think that's about everything that we have to say, other than go to the YouTube if you haven't already. Check out the video version of the podcast at youtube.com/puclpodcast. However, with that, guys, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been R Sigma.
I dropped my headphones on Bocefus.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
It's closing time.